Hello everyone and welcome back to Baited Gaming. My name is Joe and we are going to continue our playthrough of Final Fantasy II on the Game Boy Advance. So in the last episode we did quite a few things. We delivered the stash of Mithril to the Rebel base in Altair. They distributed the weapons all throughout the three towns of Altair, Poft, and Paloom, pretty much making it so that we have weapons on par with what the Empire is using. After that, we went to the city of Basque, which is an imperial town where the Dreadnought was being constructed at, and made it to where the Dreadnought was, but just a little bit too late, as they had finished the construction of the Dreadnought and took off, and unfortunately attacked the three rebel sympathizing towns of Altair, Poft, and Paloom, doing a lot of damage, but not quite destruction. But it was kind of like a warning blast, like, hey, if you guys don't quit this rebellion stuff, we're going to come hard body at you, and we will kill you with this Dreadnought. Like, that's how serious it is. So, we learned that airships are powered by something called Sunfire, so that's what we're in search of right now. We're in search of Sunfire, which it's said to be held at the keep of Kashuan, but unfortunately you can't just hold it. You need some sort of receptacle or container to carry it in. So that's where we are right now. We're going to obtain what's called the Goddess Bell in this snow cavern. So we're on like this snowmobile / boat provided by Joseph, and that's where we're going to pick up our story. So we are going to head out towards the snow cavern. Before we keep moving, let's just get everyone healed up. Alright, and we're on our way. So we are heading to the snow cavern to the east in search of the Goddess Bell, which should be somewhere inside of said cavern, according to this Joseph character. So now this Joseph character is following us because he as well is part of the rebellion, and we saved his daughter. She was one of the people that was being enslaved by the Empire inside of the Summit Falls. So he's very grateful that we saved her, and he's gonna help us find this Goddess Bell, because he says he knows where it is, and he says, hey, you can use my snowmobile boat thing and let's go find this thing. So that's where we are heading. It should be close. There it is. Okay, so this is the snow cavern. Fairly long dungeon, about 6 floors or so, but there's quite a few items that we want to get in here. And we're going to meet some new enemies, but they're not particularly dangerous. As you can see, they mostly get one hit by all of our guys. Okay, so we are just going to keep moving, grab all the chests that we can find. 300 gil, it's good. We need as much money as we can get. There's going to be a lot of undead creatures in this dungeon, but we're not too worried about the strength of the monster, because, again, for the most part, they die in 1, maybe 2 hits, depending on who's attacking them. And plus, we want to level up our weapons and shields anyway. Okay, so keep on heading around. So the main boss of this dungeon is, funnily enough, an adamantoise, which is just basically a big old turtle. So the big old turtle is the boss of the dungeon. He apparently is the keeper of the guardian of the Goddess Bell. I don't know if he's actually the guardian, but he's the one standing in front of it. And that's who we have to defeat. And he's not particularly strong. He's very weak to water, ice magic, so that's why we've been leveling our Blizzard spell for this particular moment. So Blizzard's at level 3 right now, which is... Ideally, we'd have it at level 4, but level 3 will do. Now, these monsters in here, as you can see, they drop a lot of status effects on us, so Joe is paralyzed right now, so he can't take any action. I'm not sure if this is one of the status effects that stay over at the end of battle, but we'll find out afterwards. Again, still not that dangerous. So we got sword and shield level increase for Hat. Single K, fine. So we are on the 3rd floor now, and we're looking for all the chests that we can find. We don't want to go through this dungeon too quickly, because again, we want as many levels and things as possible, and I'm going to show you that interface once we're done with this battle. So if you go into status, you can see the actual level of each of your skills and such. So, for example, Joe is level 4 with swords, level 4 with shields, and those are all of the stats, so attack, accuracy, defense, evasion, and magic defense. So again, level 4 with sword, level 4 with shield, level 3 with axe, and you can see how the bar increases. The bar starts to turn red as you gain more in that particular level. And then Joseph is 3 and 3. Okay, so that's basically what the interface looks like for leveling weapons. We don't want to go to the next floor just yet. I think there's a few chests in this floor that we should grab first. But we will speed through combat. Everyone knows what combat looks like. And then, hey, there's level 4 axe and shield for Jesse. So take a walk through the water here. Yeah, one of the things that I really like about this game is that the auto attacking is crisp, it's fast, and the combat in general is just a massive upgrade to where like you can just target one thing, and then if it's dead, it'll move to the next monster. And I really like the customization of all the characters, that you can pretty much make them whatever you want. Like if I wanted to, I could just make everybody monks and just go unarmed for the entire game, or I can go with 2 swords or 2 axes or whatever I wanted. Like this game gives you lots of customization options, which I was very happy about. The more control that I have over my characters, well, that's not where we want to go, that's where we just came from, the better that I feel about the game, because then it means that if something goes wrong, that it was my decision to have done that. So we just picked up an Antarctic Wind, and that's a on-use item that casts a big old ice spell, which is going to be helpful for us, obviously, for the turtle boss coming up. And that's what I was looking for, because I thought there was one on this floor, but I couldn't remember exactly where it was. Now you'll see that there are 2 exits from this floor, so obviously one of them is towards the boss, and the other one is a dead end, probably leading to different treasures and such, so hopefully we'll find the dead end version first. I'm not like 100% familiar with all of these dungeons, but I've only actually beaten this game twice. But we're gonna run through it and see what happens. The main thing that I want to get from this dungeon, like the most important thing is that I'm looking for, is something called the Ancient Sword, which is on the 5th floor. We just got a new weapon for Jesse. That's good, he needed an upgrade. Which is on the 5th floor of this dungeon, and the Ancient Sword comes with an on-hit chance that it'll cast the spell Curse on whatever it hits. The spell Curse makes it to where it lowers their defenses, mainly physical defenses, very low. So for example, like a boss that has very high physical resistance, if you land a curse on it, or the on-hit proc from the Ancient Sword hits onto it, it'll give them curse, and then you'll be able to do a lot more damage from physical attacks on it. So we're going to be needing that particular weapon for grenades. This should be fun for a dungeon coming up in which there are a lot of like hill giants, and they have very high defense just across the board, and the only way that we're going to be able to do a lot of damage to them is by getting a curse off, because they hit really hard and they take no damage in return, so they're like very dangerous when you first encounter them. Alright, so that's all the chests that I think on this floor, so we can head back to the top. Okay, let's do quick amounts of healing. We don't need to go to full. Like I said, the monsters in here aren't particularly dangerous, but when there's lots of them, like in formations like this, you can kind of do a little bit of damage, but nothing to be really worried about. Okay, so we are going to head to the other exit from the 3rd floor, which is all the way to the south and to the west. And just keep on moving along, get as much EXP as possible. Now the only unfortunate thing about going through dungeons is that I'm conserving MP on Hat, whereas I would like to have been using her MP so that I can gain more of it and gain more levels in our spells. So what I'll probably end up doing is, in between episodes, doing a little bit of off-screen grinding for spells. Because I'd like to have all of our main spells that we're going to use, like Teleport, Blizzard, Fire, Protect, Blink, etc., at level 4 at least. The reason being for that is because obviously they're more effective that way, and then when you use them in AoE form, they have a better chance to hit. So we're already running low on curatives. So sorry, Hat, you're going to have to use some of that stuff. The reason why we're able to use a little bit of MP in this dungeon is because we got a Blizzard Tome and we got an Antarctic Wind. Now when you use the Blizzard Tome in battle, it casts a level 7 or 8 version of the spell, so we can use that in place of one of the level 3 casts that we're going to have from Hat. So we just got a Mithril Spear that's just going to be sold. We don't really have anyone that's going to be using spears in particular. I mean, we could if we wanted to, but I kind of like the versatility of swords in this game because there's just so many different ones. So we're going to head through the stairs here, and you're probably wondering why I passed up the door. Most of the doors in this game are basically traps. When you walk through a door, for the most part, it's kind of just like an empty room, and you'll get a bunch of encounters while you're in it. Hey, what's up, Jim?
What's up?
So we're going to try and avoid most of the doors as we're going through. So just keep auto-attacking as we go, saving MP for the boss. And just leveling all of our weapons up. That's the main goal here. While we're on the... I think we're on the 5th floor now, so I want to be on the lookout for a treasure chest, because that's where we're going to find the ancient sword. And like I said, it's a very, very big upgrade from what we're currently using. And it has that added ability where it casts Curse on hit. And that's going to be very handy, especially, say we are in a boss fight against a boss that is very, very physical resistant, like the turtle bosses, and we run out of magic and magic items, we can hopefully get a Curse proc and then just auto-attack it to death. Because it'll lower its resistance to basically nothing, and then we can just do full damage. I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. So we just got to defeat the monsters in this box, but they're not particularly dangerous, so we're just going to auto-attack them to death. And there we go, we got our ancient sword. So we're going to go ahead and equip that onto Joe. Ooh, that's a spear, we don't want that. Ancient sword. So yeah, so you can see here, sword that invokes an ancient curse. So just chance on hit, cast curse, and you'll see like a little icon when you actually get the curse proc onto the monster in question. And I will show that when we go to the turtle boss. I think we actually go through this door. I could be mistaken though. I might just be running into a 3-room trap. No. So this is the beaver room. So all these beavers, you're going to talk to them, and they're just going to say like snoop, cheat, and all these like weird beaver sounds. But if you go talk to the beaver leader, for some reason, Jesse knows how to speak beaver. He dumb, and Jesse speak beaver.
Yeah, why don't I have a character?
You do. You just haven't been found yet.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah, you just haven't been found yet. So apparently Jesse speaks beaver. And so we're going to ask the beaver about the goddess bell. Well, Jesse's going to ask the beaver about the goddess bell in Snook Nook Cheat Cheat language, whatever that is. So apparently there's a secret passage in the wall to the right, and a monster is guarding the bell. The bell's attached to the wall. So, thanks, beaver guy. Here? There? Where? Where is it? There it is. There's the secret passage. So we just walk through a hole in the wall, and we go to the 6th floor, which has the big old turtle boss and the item that we came for, the goddess bell. So just gotta get through the rest of these trash mobs on the way there. Okay. So the turtle boss, as I said before, he is weak to ice, and we have quite a few ways to deal ice damage. And if we happen to run out of ways to deal ice damage, we have the ancient sword as a backup plan. So we just got a silver Curious. Put that baby onto... Actually, we're going to put that on Hat. That'll make her spells more effective. You actually get more effective spells on spellcasters if you wear lighter armor, which obviously I guess makes sense, but we want everyone to be wearing the best armor that they can. We are out of heal stuff. Okay. So let's just use a high potion here. And we'll do a safety save just in case. That's the cool thing about this game. You can save inside of dungeons. So, makes it very safe. So, big old turtle. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll just Blizzard Tome him. Cast Blizzard. Use the Antarctic Wind. And Joseph can just punch it. Yeah, so 334 just from a level 3 spell. So like you guys said before, he's very, very resistant to physical attack. So Joseph just punched him for 6. So he did 156 with the Blizzard Tome. I'm sorry, with the with the Blizzard Tome, and the Antarctic one should do about the same. Actually, no, wow, did 532, and then that's Turtle Balls. So very, very weak to ice magic. And then for some reason, oh, okay, we're gonna get into a random battle on the first step after. That's good. That's what you want. Okay, so we're going to grab the Goddess Bell. It's attached in the wall here. I don't know why a giant turtle was guarding it, but, you know, okay. I don't really like to ask a lot of questions in the Final Fantasy world. You kind of get just confused. And then after you grab the Goddess Bell, a secret staircase up to a door pops up, which leads us all the way back to the first floor. But before we do that, we are going to unequip all of Joseph's stuff, because we are about to say goodbye to him. And in the worst way possible. He's actually going to be RIP'd. And we're going to have like a little Indiana Jones scene coming up.
Is his face going to melt?
No, the other kind of Indiana Jones scene.
Oh.
The other famous one. The one where a boulder starts chasing us. So we're going to run into Count Borgin again. Now, if anyone remembers, Count Borgin was the advisor to Princess Hilda of Fynn, and betrayed the city of Fynn and decided to join the Empire, and that's why the city of Fynn is currently overrun with Imperials. It's all because of this D-bag. So we're going to confront him right now, and he's going to be pretty upset that we've already got the Goddess Bell. So he's going to be like kind of like the second boss of this dungeon, but he's not very strong. We're just going to, again, we'll cast Blink. Blink, with that does raises our evasion attack, and Joseph's just going to attack. And since he's got double fists at this point, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, because Borgin, of course, good misses. So yeah, 174 just on auto attacks is pretty good. So he's going to be our main damage dealer. So I think we're just going to forego magic at this point. We'll do Blizzard, that's fine. Attack. See how much it does. 83, it's respectable. Oh, and see, so he's like kind of like a really shitty boss, but so we'll be moving on from him, but he has a trap laid for us as he lay dying. So he booby trapped the cave, and unfortunately we're gonna have our Indiana Jones boulder chasing us down the stairs, and it's much faster than we are, because I don't know why we're just still standing here while it's chasing us. So the boulder catches up to us, and Joseph, being the good guy that he is, and the strong guy that he is, just holds onto the boulder so that we can go, and we're going to have a conversation about it, apparently, while he's holding on to it.
That seems like a fair thing to do.
Yeah, just have a conversation about it, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to get smushed by this boulder as we run out of the cave.
And smush.
Yeah, and rip Joseph. So he actually does die. Like he's gonna do the whole disappearing act from the face of the earth. So that's the second person that we've, partly been responsible for them dying. Like, things are not going well for us. Like, we do have the Goddess Bell in our inventory now, and we're gonna go get the Sunfire, but like, people are all around us that are close are just dying. So we're gonna take our snow boat and go across the snow. Yes, we have a snow boat. Like, you can't cross the snow any other way without the snow boat. And we're going to head back to the main city of Altair to just report what's going on to Hilda. I'm sure she would like to know that her confidant and informant in Salaman, Joseph, has passed away. So we're going to go relay that information to her. So it's a little bit of a walk from here. We probably could just... Actually, no, we can't teleport there because we don't have the airship yet. So we're just going to have to walk to Salaman, do a rest, and then we can take a airship from Hoft, I believe it is. So Salaman should just be right over here along the mountains. We're going to pop in there real quick.
Bees.
There's a lot of bees. We're going to AoE them down. Hey, we'll get a potion. So we're going to run in here real quick, check the magic shop, see if there's anything that I need. Life, probably relevant. Warp, probably relevant. Okay. So we're going to equip those onto Hat, because she's our spellcaster. We'll put Warp on Hat. Put Life on Hat. And then we're going to order the magic because I'm anal about it. And move those down one. Put Life under that. Move these down one. Okay. And we're going to hit the end real quick. Get all of our HP and MP back and continue to walk. Now technically we don't have to go to Altair. We could just go to the next zone. So I think we're just going to do that. We're going to head over to the city of Bafsk, which was the Imperial town that we originally went to try and destroy the Dreadnought. And then we have to go to the city of Kashuan, which is in the middle of the mountains. It's in kind of like a really peculiar spot, and we'll see that as we get there. So we're going to follow this mountain range to the east and the south until we get to the city of Bafsk. Just grabbing everything as we go. I probably should have grabbed some healing items, but I might be able to here if I don't get ambushed by Imperials. That's always a problem in these towns. Okay, so we're gonna... Can you get out of the way? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead in here. We don't want that. We don't want any crosses. We ain't doing Jesus stuff. We don't need that. Yeah, we'll buy a bunch of potions since they're pretty cheap. Buy a few eye drops, some antidotes. We don't need high potions just yet. We'll grab a cottage, and that should be fun. Get out of the way! Freaking guy. Alright, so now we're going to head over to the city of Kashuan, which is southeast of Bafsk, in the middle of like a ring of mountains. Like, it's a very like strange place. So the mountains are going to break here, and there's going to be another mountain range to the south. We have to follow that to the east to where it opens up. So we're going to follow the mountains here to the east. Kill all these Sasquatches. Sasquatch is real. You've seen it here first. Follow to the east. And then we can go inside the first set of mountain ranges. Oh, we should probably be spellcasting along the way. Let's do that. Do some fire stuff. Yeah. No, attack. What are you doing? There we go. So let's actually just change the formation a little bit. Put our two meleeers in the back row, so this way I can just auto and still not and still get all of my casts off, because they actually can't do damage from the back row. So it's just a kind of an easy way of making sure that I can get maximum casts off. Poison, yay. Good thing we brought antidotes. Okay, so we level up fire there. It's good. We want to try to get into like level 3, level 4 at some point. So we're going to do a quick little grinding session while we're here, because we're already to Kashuan. So good thing for speed up. Okay, so magic increase, magic defense increase, which is always helpful. Okay. AoE the zombies down. So we want to try and waste all of Hat's MP before we rest in the cottage. Got an intelligence increase, so that should increase her max MP. fight that. You keep casting fire. And how much MP do we have left? 5? Okay, we can do another fight. I think we're out. Yep, we are out of magic now. Now we can cast 1 thunder. Now that's just gonna have to auto. Good. Oh, we can't carry any more potions, so we're done. Alright, so we are gonna head over the bridge here, use a cottage, and head into Kashwan. So sort our items. Sleep in this sweet cottage. Do a quick save. And head inside. So this is Kashwan Keep, and right here is the Sunfire. So you can apparently ask the Sunfire about things, but we don't quite have the right thing in order to carry the torch yet. So we're gonna go up to this door. This door is locked, and the way that you get in is by using the Goddess spell on it. So we're gonna go into our inventory and use the Goddess spell to open the door. So inside we're going to find the other Prince of Kashwan. His name is Gordon, and this is Scott's brother. Scott is the guy at the very beginning of the game where we went to the inn behind the bar and got the ring from him so that we could join the rebellion, and he passed away in front of us. So now Gordon is the heir to Kashwan, so he's technically the king of Kashwan, and he's looking for the Eagle Torch, which is the actual item that we need to carry the Sunfire so that we can destroy the Dreadnought. So we're gonna persuade Gordon to come with us and convince him that he is a strong character and that he can fight. Like, he just needs a lot of persuasion that he can actually do the things that he's meant to do. So he's gonna join the party, and he comes equipped with some crap that we're not gonna use. I'm gonna give him Mithril Sword, Mithril Shield, and then it'll optimal the rest of his armor. But yeah, we're going to have him use Sword and Shield just like everyone else. But that's where we're going to end this episode for now. So if you liked what you saw, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. So have a good day, everyone.